checking in at the 2025 College Disc Golf National Championships here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. You know, if you're a fan of disc golf, you've seen these iconic holes that these 800 plus players are going to be competing on this week. Yeah, so right now we have the women's singles action going on. So they'll play their first round in the morning. The top 16 plus ties will advance to the final 9 this afternoon, and we'll crown our first national championship here in Rock Hill. Yeah, this is our first PDGA Major of 2025, and this event just keeps growing. I think this is the largest national championship in college disc golf history. Over 800 players competing, 100 plus schools represented. Just incredible vibes out here.
Here we go.
The wind kind of stunk. It kind of got in my head a little bit, but as I kept playing the round, I just tried to keep it out of my head a little bit and just play my game. So there were some holes that I had to lay up and just play it safer with the wind conditions. Didn't want to putt something and have it fly straight in the air and have to make a big comebacker. So yeah, just playing it safe, and yeah, we call it grandpa golf, my partner and I. So just trying to play it as safe as we can, avoid bogeys. Yeah, so I feel pretty great about it. I'm excited to come back.
I actually didn't keep track of score this round. Wanted to keep my mental game strong. My card mates were amazing at keeping me in a really good mood, and I feel really excited to see how this round goes and the rest of the tournament.
Honestly, it felt great. That was definitely the way I wanted to end my round. It was just the pressure was off. I just kind of nailed the putt, and I felt good going into the next round. A little bit of change of strategy now that the weather with the wind changed a little bit, but I mean, I'm from Emporia. I'm excited to make these changes. Maybe the island hole, maybe take it back a little bit. I accidentally skipped a little bit too hard and went OP, so I'm excited to see what I can do on the next shot. Thank you so much.
It was pretty chill. I had a couple of errors, a little bit of like misjudging my angle, but other than that, it was fun. I was just trying to, enjoy the round, take it one shot at a time. I'm feeling pretty good. My mental game is always my biggest competitor, so I'm just going into the final 9 against myself. That's it. And if I can just keep the same level head that I have now, I think that I'm going to come out good. Just, go for pars and let birdies come. Earlier in the season, I did feel like there was some pressure to it and had some concerns coming into nationals, like being number 1 and playing against all these girls who I know are just totally amazing. But honestly, just goes back to mental game, taking it down to I'm playing against me. I'm just excited to play golf with a bunch of awesome ladies and make good shots.
It was really nice today. Perfect weather for some nice disc golf. I was putting a little nose down out there, so had to make that adjustment a little bit, but that's about it. I'm feeling good, to be honest. All I think about when I'm out there is I just want to make the Frisbee look pretty. I want to make it fly far and make it look pretty, so that's all I think about. Just here to have fun. Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
So much action going on here in Rock Hill. There's over 8 different divisions competing. You can follow every single score on PDGA Live from D1 through D3, singles, teams, everything. Be sure to stay tuned to Ace Run Pro for next day coverage of the women all throughout the week and throughout the year at the PDGA Majors, and you can find complete coverage on pdga.com.
Hello and welcome to the 2025 College Disc Golf National Championships here in Rock Hill, South Carolina for the first major of the year in 2025. We have our D1 Women's Singles Final 9. I am Alexis Kerman.
And I'm Zach Melton.
Coverage here is sponsored by Infinite Disc, so we're really excited to bring coverage of our Final 9 Women's D1 here at Rock Hill, so very exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see some of these women play for the first time. They're obviously, they shot the hottest during the round to lead up to this final, so excited to see what they got.
Yeah, they've been here for several days now getting practice in. And so up first here we have Grace Wilson out of Liberty University leading the field.
Ultimate player.
Ultimate player.
That's what I've been hearing. She's an ultimate player.
Heck yeah. And next up we've got Alana Krueger with Emporia State University. This isn't her first rodeo, so very excited to see how she'll do.
Yeah, one of the top players in the country.
Yeah, ranked 1.
Lauren Bourque from UNC Charlotte. I don't know much about her game, but I've been seeing her out there, and obviously she's playing well.
Yeah, she's returning, and so is Missoury Wolff here with Clemson. So she is definitely a veteran out here in the collegiate field. So up first we have hole 1. We're at the Winthrop Meadows course. It's a par 3. You kind of see we have to shoot this gap. There is a big hyzer around these trees as well. We may see some of the women take, but only 211 feet. But we'll kind of see on this course we've got some tricky gaps to hit here.
Yeah, it seems like all week there's been a left to right crosswind, which kind of keeps the hyzer from making it all the way to the basket. But definitely makes that kind of low ceiling straight shot a little difficult as well.
Yeah, so we've got Grace Wilson with Liberty again here. Pipes this gap with a backhand.
Perfect. Maybe like 20 short, but that was so good.
So good.
Just like a one-step run up too.
Yes.
You know? A lot of power.
See if Atlanta takes this middle gap. You can kind of see that hyzer gap there to the right with that space.
Little high, but it seems like most of the time par is pretty manageable, even with an errant shot here on hole 1.
Definitely, especially with the shorter hole here off 1, but definitely nervy because they just played 18 holes and now they've got this final 9 holes trying to get the D1 singles women's championship title.
And there were a lot of people out here watching today.
Oh, that was so
cool
awesome.
for the ladies.
Yes. Now we got our last player, Missoury from Clemson. She's going forehand. It looks like just like Lauren had just done. Just a little high, yeah. That low ceiling there gets in the way, and there's definitely several holes like that out here on the Meadows course.
Yeah, to be an open course, it definitely includes like a lot of gap shots, which makes it feel a little tighter than what it really is, I think. The property's used well. That'll work.
She'll have a putt.
Grace for birdie.
Yay, let's go, Grace. Starting off hot, already in the lead. She says, birdie, no problem. That's so awesome to see. Something about Grace is that she has only played 3 rounds ever in her life before playing here at the national championships.
That's incredible. And then you come to your first major and you're winning after
Killing
the first
it,
round.
yes.
So cool.
That was a great putt by Missoury right there.
I really wanted Missoury to just pipe that first forehand. That way I could say she's got the best forehand in the family. Give a little shout out to Ben, but no, I'm sure she can get him later.
Oh yeah, it's nervy coming off of that round because now it's, you know, that first 18 holes was just for the team average for the rest of the tournament, and now these 9 holes is just for this championship crown.
So hole 2, it's a par 3, 254 feet. Pretty tight gap off the tee pad, probably within the first 50 feet, and then it kind of opens up, and then you have 2 late guardian trees. You can kind of pull the drive a little more right and swing in late, or try to split those trees. It's 250, but it definitely plays a lot further.
Yeah, and like you're saying, there's some wind. There was more wind today than I think I expected to maybe be out there. So we'll see how they kind of attack this hole here. that early tree, just like you mentioned there.
Yeah, great second tree though, in my opinion. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to get right of these guardian trees.
As you mentioned, Lauren came from an ultimate background, so it seems like she likes to pull out that forehand a lot so far.
Just a little high by Missoury, but makes good distance out down the fairway. Should be a pretty easy up and down, hopefully.
Yeah, looks like it. Woo! Missed that tree.
Just snuck it out there, and then it flipped up a little even.
Dang.
That's so close.
That was a great shot by Atlanta right there.
Out of her hand, it looked like it was going to be a little left, but then I think it got a little flip up and just found circle one. So good. Is Atlanta primarily like backhand
Yes,
player?
I think Atlanta. I played with her at DDO last year, and yeah, I would say she's primarily a backhand player.
Okay.
She can crush a disc, so. Ooh, some ultimate natural forehands coming in for Grace. That was such a great up shot.
Yeah, she's got some snap on that forehand for sure. Got her game face on.
Oh,
super
yeah, she
serious,
does.
Locked in. She wants it.
Missoury with an up and down. Bit of a putt, but wind looks like it's down, so.
Yeah, I think on hole 2 it was pretty much a headwind, kind
Yeah,
of coming towards
okay.
the tee pad all day.
You'll find that a lot on this Meadows course. Although it's a short course, there's a lot of kind of those smaller trees, those low ceilings off the tee pads we're going to see. So it's not as straightforward as someone might think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the distances on the tee signs are a little deceiving.
Yes, yeah.
Great putt by Atlanta also. Sick birdie.
It's nervy. It's nervy out here. You could feel the tension in the air. But kind of like you mentioned, Zach, it was really cool to see all the teammates and other coaches and players, because you're a coach too for Milligan.
Yeah,
so
Milligan University. We had 2 ladies make the finals, which was really cool.
Shout out Milligan. That is awesome.
This is my first visit at College Nationals, so it's been very fun to be here
Yeah.
and see all kind of the team atmosphere.
Yeah, that's what makes this whole collegiate side of the disc golf sport like really cool and unique.
Ben's a pro who spent $25 on his premium driver and threw it 413 feet, which means he spent about 6 cents per foot for his shot. Matt's a total noob, but he only spent $5 for his premium driver on discountdiscgolf.com. He throws his 213 feet, which means Matt only spent 3 cents per foot for his shot, making him the clear winner in this distance battle. Cheap discs are better. It's science.
All right, we've got hole 3 up next. It's a par 3. This is a new hole this year, I believe. So you're going through that gap in the trees and out and around. This road here is not OB. There's OB along the right side, but you have to get pretty far right. It really plays for a forehand. I think turnover is pretty sharp. So we'll see kind of what these ladies decide to pull out of the bag. It looks like Atlanta's going backhand turnover through the gap.
What a great shot.
Such a great shot.
You get on that tee pad, this hole, the gap feels very small.
Yes.
Very small.
I mean, look at that. That looks just so intimidating. No problem. Woo. Okay, Grace is fine. She gets all the distance too.
There is an OB line over there on the right, kind of
Yeah.
the property line.
Yeah, we've got a maintenance yard over there, so we have that OB over there, but Grace is safe. Missoury goes forehand. Great little skip and a roll.
Wow, that was so good.
Woo. That's awesome to see ladies at this level throwing forehands and bombing them.
So good. That's the best shot I've seen all week.
Oh!
And then back to back. Yeah, one ups on.
Great shot.
That takes some power because you can't flex this forehand off that tee. If you flex, you go away from the pin. It's pretty much a pure hyzer.
Yeah, you can't flex, and like getting the right height is also difficult. So, like you're saying, having that power to just push it out there. Yes, great bird by Missoury. Wolff. Let's go.
So they've played 18 holes. This is lead card, final 9. Do you feel like they almost approach it as kind of like match play when you get to these last 9 holes? Kind of like you know who you're trying to make up strokes on, and kind of you have a short time to do it?
Yeah, I definitely think it feels like match play, especially because the field is so tight. Anything can happen out here. You can take bogeys, you can get birdies. It feels scoreable, but there's definitely different factors. So,
hole 4, par 3, 277 feet. There's kind of like a main tree in the middle of this wide gap, and you either go left or right. The drone is flying on the right side, which I think most of the right-handed players are going to take. It says 277. It plays further for sure. It's uphill. It's a little low ceiling. I think you're going to see a lot of these ladies probably pull out a driver just because they have to keep it low, get that skip at the finish, but very good hole.
Yeah, it's a fun little one, and it is uphill, so like you're saying, it definitely plays further. Missoury with another forehand. Has the distance, but definitely looked a little bit stable and got that big flare at the end.
Yeah, I think that's circle 2. I think that would be a jump putt. Hopefully she can give it a bid.
Ooh, that thing got flippy.
You heard Atlanta say it. It got flippy on her. Hit that big tree. Grace is trying to hit that gap too. Can she miss it? She does.
Oh, this looks perfect.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Absolutely par.
Almost touched the koozie.
Getting a run back here of Grace's shot. Bam. Goes right in between that gap. Just like you were talking about. So good.
She has such a compact run up,
Yes.
and creates a lot of power and spin still.
So much power. Backhand, same type of line, a little inside. Goes pin high.
Goes long even, I think. That's a crush.
Bomber.
Not a bad approach for Atlanta.
Yeah, it should be open, so shouldn't give her too much trouble getting up and down. Little hyzer chip, just like that.
Perfect.
Definitely running it.
Mm-hmm. Good height.
Kind of sat close, so that's good.
Love to see smiles.
Yeah, that's the nice thing out here is a lot of them have kind of met each other or know of each other, especially on these top cards. And so the camaraderie between the card mates too at this level is so fun to see.
Absolutely. Killer putt by Lauren. She went long and still cashed the birdie putt back.
Yep, Atlanta cleaning up a par.
And finally Grace gets to tap in that perfect drive. Same
Look at
disc.
that.
Same disc.
Oh my goodness. So good.
There were a lot of Liberty guys out there walking with her.
Oh, they bring the
supporting
crew.
ladies. They do.
Yes. All right, we've got hole 8 here at Winthrop Meadows. You have this huge, what is it, a cedar right in the middle.
It just catches frisbees. That's what it
Catches
does for sure.
frisbees. It says, I want your frisbee. And this drone is going way over this tree. So the play is this hyzer because this basket's just right on the other side of this tree. But you got to go way around it with kind of that backhand hyzer. There is this small left hand gap there, but the space is out here where Grace is, and she hits that space for sure. It's very hard, I would say, wouldn't you, Zach, that it's to really kind of get back left.
Yeah, the height you need to come all the way back to the basket is kind of crazy. You're gonna have to see the shot be pushed very high, and it can't really be flat or turning. It needs that hyzer angle, kind of like that.
Yeah, Lauren gets to, looks like edge of circle 1 about.
I thought there was a chance Missoury might take like the high left forehand route.
With that forehand,
yeah, she has a lot of power on it.
She does. Safe is safe though. Like we said, it feels like a very scoreable course, but even par, you know, playing clean out here for the women was a great score in round 1, so.
Definitely. Oh my
wow.
goodness. What? That almost went in. I think they know it's good, but I don't know they realize how close that was. Yeah, that was almost an incredible highlight. So cool. Good bid by Missoury. That's a long putt.
Yes, that's long. Let's see if Grace can do it. Right there.
Yeah, I think she's okay with par right there.
I think she should be good. I thought Lauren was gonna get another one.
Yeah, look, that putt didn't come out of the hand the same way as the last hole. Just looked a little different.
Yes, birdie for Atlanta. You can see we're pretty close in scores, and although it's only 9 holes, a lot can happen. So basically, they've played 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then they're gonna go to hole 8 and 9, and then 12, and then finish out on 17 and 18.
Yeah.
So that's what this 9-hole loop is for this singles championship for the women.
Yeah, I think it's probably the best 9-hole loop.
Yeah, I would agree.
On the course. There's scoring separation, long, short, a little bit of everything. All right, we're here on hole 9, par 4. 483 feet, but I think it plays further because the tee shot is a sharp angle, kind of left to right. It's going to get you down in this valley, maybe on the upslope, but then your upshot is straight up a hill. So it definitely plays further. I think the drive, I think, is the most challenging part, that big, steep left to right shot, but we'll see if they can pull it off.
Yeah, especially because we have hazard on the left and the right of the hole, and with that elevation change, you can see you have to throw this like turnover blind shot to the fairway. There was some wind out there, so it made it a little difficult, I think. No problem for Atlanta though. I mean, this was absolutely crushed. Holy cow.
Out of her hand, I thought it might have had like too much turn and was going to get down, but then it kind of just panned and flew down the fairway. That was so good.
Perfect. It's almost like how you have to shape the shot. It looks like you're turning too much, but then you give it the perfect amount of space to ride that hill, just like Grace does as well.
So good.
Yep, got that forehand out of Lauren. Excellent.
Yeah, the forehand works, it just doesn't get as far as the backhand.
Does not ride that hill, yeah. Even, we know Missoury loves the forehands, and she's going that backhand turnover. Kind of burns it over a little bit. That's okay. They're all on the fairway and they're all safe, so that's definitely a win on this hole with as much hazard as there is.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, there's just hazard everywhere.
Yeah, a lot on this course in general, right, Zach?
Yeah. It's a nice touch because like they get to play from it, but I mean it is there in case there's like you can't just throw like 300 feet away from the basket. Like kind of needs to be, and it looks good with the short grass too.
Yes. Getting up and down.
That looks
Lauren.
great.
That's so good.
That looks great.
I mean, and she didn't even get one of the furthest up off the tees and, I mean, crushed it up that hill. That hill is pretty steep, like you said. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Approved.
Love it. So smooth.
Even better.
Atlanta's standstills are just amazing to watch. The amount of power she gets is so fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
because she's small. She's short.
Not a dig, but yeah.
No, hey, I'm short too. Like if you've met me, I'm tiny short.
And she's still got it past the basket. She's putting back with a little bit of a drop off. No problem.
Bang. In the chains. Let's go, Atlanta. Pulling it even closer, although I guess Grace is right there too, isn't she?
Yeah.
So
It appears almost halfway through the 9. We kind of have a 2-horse race, so to speak. But tough miss by Missoury. I feel like I did that. Like I spoke in her putt, and then she left it short. That's on me.
Zach.
That's on me. Sorry, guys.
There we go. Good cleanup though. Bogey doesn't feel good on this hole, but yeah, like you said, we kind of have our leaders, Grace, who, let's see, she can get this.
Yeah, don't jinx her.
I know, I'm going to stop talking. Okay, she did. We're fine. We're fine.
We're good.
So we got Grace and Atlanta kind of pulling away, but still a 2-stroke difference between them. So it's close. It's exciting as we go to hole 12, a par 4, another par 4 with elevation change and hazard on the left and the right with a tough gap out of the tee, I would say.
For sure.
And we got a, placement out here, try and get as far as you can to line up your second shot. I think hole 12 played one of the hardest holes on the day, especially earlier in that day when they played 18 because of the wind. I think there was that crosswind coming through.
Yeah, left or right.
A lot of people were finding that hazard.
And it's kind of a tight gap right in your face, which she makes it look very easy.
So easy.
So, there's no gap.
Got to sit down here. Yeah, plenty of space.
Yeah, if you miss, and hit one of these initial trees, I think it goes from, a par 4 to a par 5, immediately.
She gets that gap, too.
She opted for the right side, which I think is smaller than the left.
I think so.
That looks perfect, though.
One of those trees you were talking about. One of the last ones, but you do see she kicked right into that hazard. Missoury also opting for a forehand. See if she can... Yep, she hit that. Rode down the hill. Little low, but safe. Safe from the hazard. Compared to last year, so they also played this course last year, there was a far less hazard. And so they added a lot of hazard. And I think it helped tighten it up and really makes you think about your shot more off the tee for sure.
Yeah, a little bit more thought, which I think is good.
Yeah. I mean, you can see these gals are skilled, so it's really awesome to see how far the competition, especially in the women's field, has come. Looks like she's in bounds there.
Yeah, it's close. I'm not sure if it found the hazard or not, but it got very close to that line.
I think she's safe. I'm going to will it into existence.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Very close.
Grace also flirting with a line over there too. A little unsure. Looks in though.
Is this Atlanta's drive? That's so far.
It is. She crushed that.
Easy standstill.
Easy.
That looks great.
A little short, but she makes putts. Okay.
I think it from behind her it looked kind of worse, but it's still on the green. It's still putting, so she's got to look.
Missoury getting on the green too. Both inbounds. Safe. Just laying that up. No need to mess with any rollaways.
Yeah, from right side of the fairway, the green does have a little right to left slope, which she was putting at.
Mm-hmm.
So close.
Good height. Let's go.
Atlanta.
Another birdie.
And a little smile afterwards.
Oh, great putt by Missoury. Yeah, it's always really weird. So you come off of the first round where there's this pressure of, well, I'd like to do well because this affects my team average going into my team rounds. And then you get to this final 9 and it's just you. So it's definitely a totally different type of pressure. But it's really great to see all of them handling that and playing their game.
Hole 17, this is a par 5 for the ladies, 676 feet. You have hazard both right and left, which it's a pretty wide fairway, but if you try to get a hold of the driver and crush it, you can find the hazard with an errant shot. Here approaching the green, it kind of goes uphill slightly and then levels off. You can kind of tell it used to be like an old golf green, and then you have the basket tucked under these trees. I think this is a well-designed hole. You can kind of choose like any risk reward that you want. Do you go big? Do you just throw a hyzer in the fairway?
We're coming down, so this is the second to the last hole for this final 9, and we are within 1 stroke between Grace and Atlanta, who are leading our field. Super exciting. Can't wait to see how this plays out. Atlanta's drives have just been on point, and
so
Grace
good.
just matched. I mean, that's
got to be close to it.
Yes.
Yeah, they're hanging out.
Hanging out. Taking this forehand.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Just fine. Just fine.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna skip it all.
Never. Never.
Ooh, that's got to go left.
She knows it too. She pulls it. And this grass, especially on that hazard area, is not skippy.
That was bombed though.
It was bombed.
It was bombed, but
can't take that away from her. Yeah. Luckily a par 5, so we'll see what, she can do from there. Missoury opting for another forehand. Boom sauce.
You think Ben is suggesting all these forehands? You think it's him?
It has to be, right?
She has a backhand. She's throwing, Nice shot by Grace. There was kind of a pretty strong tailwind on this tee pad, this fairway, and so I think getting the disc up in the air, it could kind of stable and go left. She kept that pretty low and flat.
Just wanting to stay in the fairway. Number 1 priority here. Don't take any unnecessary strokes, especially if you're Grace, who's still leading
at this point.
Not sure if she's looking at scores during the round.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some people, I feel like they're watching it every hole, and some never look.
Yeah. I think we heard in that intro, a lot of them were like, I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. So take some pressure off in some ways. Atlanta crushes it up. She almost gets to the very flat part of this hill.
I think that's like edge of circle too, like eagle look. That's impressive.
So impressive. Grace with her approach leaves that a little like early releases, it looks like.
First one of those I think we've seen this 9 holes. Rest of her shots have been pretty on point.
I wonder if the pressure and the nerves are getting to her,
Did she look at scores for the first time? Like,
Yeah.
Did someone come up and tell her?
Yeah, so this is Atlanta's eagle bid. I wonder if she's running it. What do you think?
I would love to see her put it high and give it
Do
a chance.
it!
Oh my goodness, that was so online.
So
Probably
good.
just a layup.
Gave it a little high, a little
Yeah.
chance there. So this would be for birdie?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would have been birdie look.
Oof. So that means if Atlanta makes her comeback, which I think that's her disc that Missoury just touched,
Yep.
we're going to be tied up.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. Let's go. Great putt.
Tied
That was a
with one to
great
go.
par
Yeah,
putt.
it
Wow.
was.
Oh my goodness.
That jumper for the birdie look kind of leaked away from it a little more than she probably wanted.
Easy birdie for Atlanta. She broke that hole down perfectly.
Eagle look is super impressive.
So impressive. I mean, that hole is really far. We've got our last hole. We're here at hole 18. It's a par 3 uphill through all these trees they have to navigate. There's kind of a left fairway or a right hyzer gap here. You can throw something and you kind of want to fall into the screen, hopefully get a little bit of skip to the pin. I think that left side is the better side because you can throw kind of a slow turnover shot. As you saw, a lot of trees in this fairway.
Yeah. The gap is closer on the left, but I think it's more open after that, and the gap on the right is a little tighter.
Atlanta takes this right side.
Oh,
Whoa!
goodness. 4?
Is that a penalty on me, Vincent?
She's like, is that a penalty for almost hitting my teammate?
For smoking the disc too, because she's almost
Yeah.
like in line with the pin. And then Grace hits one of those trees that we talk about, but she got far up enough. She's looking at the basket to get up and down.
Yeah, it was a good forward kick, I think.
And then that's that one tree that I think lots of people would love to see. Just like, I don't know, something happened to it.
Yeah, maybe get blown over.
Because it is perfectly placed in the way for your shot shaping.
I love that. I've never heard that.
That forehand flex off the right corner of the tee is a shot I did not expect to see, but it's maybe the best option if you have that shot.
Yeah. Fits Missoury's game perfectly, too.
Perfectly.
So, just unfortunately hit that big tree, but she's got a putt. Lauren's just kind of left that a little short. Hit that first tree there.
Could be some frustration from that last missed putt. Oh.
Ooh, okay, so
Little
Grace just went a little deep, and here's one of those straggly tree bush things we talked about earlier.
Wasn't a bad approach, just a little high.
And then there's some pines around the pin as well, so it's easy to kind of slide on those and go a little further than you expected to go.
Yeah, it's a quick green.
So yeah, Atlanta went pin high, pitching up.
Sliding the putter on those needles you mentioned.
All right, so Grace needs to make this to force a playoff.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
That was just an unfortunate lie.
I think she kind of found the worst place you could throw your approach on the green, just pushing a little deep.
She played so well, though. That was so impressive to see.
Kind of almost huge putt on Missoury. You feel for Grace because she kind of led start to finish almost. Never really gave it up until the 8th hole.
Yes.
And here the teammate's so happy for Atlanta. She's still got her game face on.
She
Maybe
still
she
has her
doesn't know.
game. Maybe she doesn't know. Lauren finishes out, and then Grace is going to tap in. But Atlanta Krueger with Emporia State takes it down.
All right. Congratulations to our College Disc Golf National Championship D1 Women's Single Finalist winner from Emporia State, Atlanta Krueger.
Let's go, Atlanta. I know she's been chasing this for several years now, since she's been with Emporia.
Yeah, you can see her get a little emotional. She's so happy.
She was gonna make me cry.
I don't know how you got off screen and got back over here, but that was cool.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Some teleportation.
Really paying attention. I heard
I heard Noelle cheer in the background when I put out and was like, I don't know, I thought I tied, but I wasn't paying very close attention.
So, how would you describe?
They're her teammates, Maya and Madeline. There's the camaraderie we want to see. She's gonna make me cry. I'm tearing up over here. Jeez.
I can't watch.
Talk about the journey that led you to this moment.
It's been crazy, honestly, because like last year was really hard for me. My mental game is my biggest competitor all the time. I'm in my own head so much. And like after nationals last year was I'm gonna get emotional because it's been a lot, but nationals last year was hard for me. I put a lot of pressure on myself and I felt like I struggled with how I performed and I wasn't kind to myself. I wasn't the partner I wanted to be to Maya. So I ended up putting a lot of work in the mental side of things over the course of the year. And honestly, I came out here today with no expectations whatsoever. I knew that my game had been feeling good, my putts had been hitting, my drives were feeling good, but I was just trying to have fun, you know, like he who has the most fun always wins. I don't know who says that. Eric, who says that? Okay, I don't say that.
Coach
Someone
Eric.
said that.
Coach Eric there.
Coach Eric.
Coming in clutch.
So,
Eric's like, I say that.
I just wanted to have fun. My first round was so much fun. Shout out to all the girls on my card. They were the absolute best. And Noelle for caddying for me and I just had fun today. And which is so different for me because sometimes disc golf is not very fun. So today was really fun. I owe a lot to everybody who supported me and the ESU disc golf team and my incredible boyfriend Isaiah, who deserves the most fantastic shout out. He has been with me through every phase of my struggles over the last couple years. And my family, I have to say.
There we go.
I've been missing them really bad. And all of my NorCal crew, sorry, I have to say that. Like, I was raised in the NorCal disc golf scene and they're all blowing up my Facebook right now, I'm sure, just losing their minds. So shout out to the fam.
Well deserved, well deserved. Oh my gosh, I literally have tears in my eyes. That's amazing. So happy to see Atlanta take that down for Emporia State. And here's Noelle. And great hugs, great hugs.
Yeah, that's awesome. The camaraderie, no matter what team you're on, like you said, mentioned earlier, everyone knows everyone. It's cool to see.
So here are our final scores. We had Atlanta 5 under par, and then not close, far behind, Grace at 4 under. So that was awesome to see. This was our D1 Women's National Single Final, crowning our first major champion of the Collegiate National Championships week. Super excited to see. Make sure to subscribe and follow Ace Run Pro. This was amazing. I was happy to be here.
Yeah, watch all week. We'll be here.